Hello again, everybody. In this lesson, we are going to be learning about short form. Now, this is going to be different than just shortening sentences. This is actually a new form of speaking that we're going to be covering. There are many different sentence forms in Japanese for varying levels of politeness and familiarity. So far, we have been learning desmas form, which is a moderately formal form. This is the type of form that you would use if you were talking to somebody that you don't know personally, somebody who's maybe your direct senior in a business or at school, but who is not super high above you. It's basically standard level politeness. It's polite, but not overly polite. In this lesson, we're going to be learning what's called short form, and this is informal. This is more what you would use with your friends, your immediate family, people that you're very familiar with. First, we're going to look at how we convert des to short form. So first up, we have positive non-past tense. In des mas form, this would be des, but in short form, it would change to da. Then we have negative non-past tense. In des mas form, this would be ja arimasen or janai des. In short form, it becomes janai. Then there's positive past tense. In des mas form, this is deshta. In short form, it's datta. And finally, we have negative past tense. In des mas form, this would be ja arimasen deshta or janakatta des. In short form, this would be janakatta. So if I said, ano doubutsu wa tora da, that would mean that animal over there is a tiger. And tora means tiger. If I said, sono kuruma wa Suzuki janai, that would mean that car is not a Suzuki. And if I said, boku no oji-san wa isha datta, that would mean my grandfather was a doctor. Oji means grandfather. You can add san, sama, chan to the end depending on your level of familiarity and respect. Oba means grandmother. And isha means doctor. And if I said, boku no oba-san wa sensei janakatta, that would mean my grandmother was not a teacher. Next, we're going to take a look at how we convert verbs to short form. First, we're going to look at positive non-past tense, and this is probably the easiest one to use short form for. All we have to do is leave verbs in their dictionary form or their infinitive form. So if I said byoin e iku, that would mean I go or I will go to the hospital. If I said rekishi o benkyou suru, that would mean I study or I will study history. And if I said Takashi wa eiga o miru, that would mean Takashi watches or Takashi will watch a movie. Again, we're just leaving those verbs in their dictionary forms. Now, for negative non-past tense in the short form, all we're going to do is convert verbs to their nai form. And to do that, you just convert them to nai-de form, but remove de from the end. So taberu, to eat, becomes tabenai. Nomu, to drink, becomes nomanai. Suru, to do, becomes shinai. And kuru, to come, becomes konai. So, if I say benkyou shinai, that would mean I don't or I won't study. And if I said doshite Mary to hanasanai, that would mean why won't you talk with Mary? To convert verbs to their positive past tense, we're going to put them in te form, but then change the e to a at the end. So taberu becomes tabeta, nomu becomes nonda, suru becomes shita, and kuru becomes kita. So if I said suteiki o tabeta, that would mean I ate steak. And if I said gurigori to atta, that would mean I met with Grigory. To convert verbs to the negative past tense, first we convert them to nai form, then we drop the i from the end and replace it with katta. So, taberu becomes tabenakatta, nomu becomes nomanakatta, suru becomes shinakatta, and kuru becomes konakatta. So if I said suteiki o tabenakatta, that would mean I didn't eat steak. And if I said gurigori to awanakatta, that would mean I didn't meet with Grigory. Next, we're going to look at how to convert adjectives to short form. If we're ending a sentence with an adjective and we're putting it in the positive non-past tense, for adjectives we leave them in their dictionary form. For adjectives we drop the from the end and add da. So if I said inu wa ookii, that would mean the dog is big. And if I said inu wa kirei da, that would mean the dog is pretty. Next, we have our negative non-past tense. For adjectives, we drop from the end and replace it with kunai. For adjectives, we drop from the end and replace it with janai. So ooki becomes okikunai. Kowai becomes kowakunai. Becomes yokunai, because remember, we conjugate as if it were the older word yoi, and kirei becomes kireijanai. So if I said inu wa ookikunai, that would mean the dog is not big. And if I said inu wa kireijanai, that would mean the dog is not pretty. To conjugate adjectives to the positive past tense, for adjectives, we drop the from the end and replace it with katta. And for adjectives, we drop from the end and replace it with datta. So, ooki would become ookikatta. Kowai would become kowakatta. Would become yokatta. And kirei would become kireidatta. So, if I said inu wa ookikatta, that would mean the dog was big. And if I said inu wa kireidatta, that would mean the dog was pretty. And finally, we have negative past tense. For adjectives, we would drop the from the end and replace it with kunakatta. And for adjectives, we would drop from the end and replace it with janakatta. So, ooki would become ookikunakatta. Kowai would become kowakunakatta. Would become yokunakatta. And kirei would become kireijanakatta. So, if I said inu wa ookikunakatta, that would mean the dog was not big. And if I said inu wa kireijanakatta, that would mean the dog was not pretty, which is a mean thing to say, so don't say it. Now we are going to look at using contractions in the short form. First, let's take a look at te iru. Te iru can be shortened to teru in short form, and de iru can be shortened to deru. So if I said ban gohan o tabeteru, that would mean I am eating dinner. Te wa ikemasen can be shortened to cha ikenai. So if I said koko de hashicha ikenai, that would mean you must not run here. Similarly, nakute wa ikemasen can be shortened to nakucha ikenai. It can also be further shortened by dropping ikenai from the end and simply saying nakucha. So if I said gakko e ikanakucha, that would mean you must go to school. Now let's look at te shimao. Te shimao can be shortened to chow, and te shimatta can be shortened to chatta. If I said kyo kasho o wasurechatta, that would mean I accidentally forgot my textbook, or just I forgot my textbook. As a quick aside, let's take a look at that word, kyokasho, textbook. Now, you may remember us learning another word, the word for license, which is kyokasho. Now, the thing to remember is that kyokasho, textbook, has a long O sound in the first syllable, whereas kyokasho, license, has a long O sound in the final syllable. Uh, it can be confusing. I actually had to look these words up myself just to confirm that. So, just to let you know. Now, if we have deishimao, it can be shortened to jiao, and deishimatta can be shortened to jatta. So, if I said Michiko no juice o nonjatta, that would mean I accidentally drank Michiko's juice. Although maybe it wasn't really an accident. Maybe I'm just saying that. And now we're going to look at forming questions in short form. When we ask a question in short form, we can omit ka from the end of a sentence and instead indicate that we're asking a question by using rising intonation at the end of our sentence. So, if I said, Sakiko wa shigoto ni ita, that would mean, did Sakiko go to her job? And you see, I didn't add ka at the end. Instead, I had that rising intonation at the end of the sentence. And that word, shigoto, means job. And to give one more example, we could say, toire wa doko, to mean, where is the bathroom? That new word, toire, means bathroom or toilet. We can also use the word otearai. All right, now we're going to practice making some sentences using short form. Remember, if I show a word in brackets, it means that I want you to omit it when you translate the sentence to Japanese. Will you return home? Uchi e kaeru. I saw Michiko at the supermarket. Supa de Michiko o mita. It was good. Yokatta. I accidentally dropped my bag. Kaban o otoshichatta. This game is not fun. Kono geimu wa tanoshiku nai. You must drink water. Mizu o nomanakucha or nomanakucha ikenai. And last, are you listening? Kiiteru. And that's all for this lesson. See you in the next one. Ja mata.